Emotional abuse occurs when someone uses words and nonviolent behaviors to exert power and control over you. It's sometimes referred to as mental or psychological abuse. Emotional abuse can be any harmful behavior that may negatively affect your emotional state. Even if you don't experience a negative impact from what the other person is saying or doing, if their intention was to hurt you, that is abuse. The following are signs that you may be suffering from emotional abuse. Abuse sign number 1, gaslighting. Someone abusing you may deny that specific events, arguments, or agreements ever happened. This tactic can leave you questioning your own memory, not to mention your mental health and well-being. Abuse sign number 2, having frequent outbursts. Frequent outbursts involve uncontrollable emotional reactions, often characterized by anger or frustration. In a relationship, these outbursts can be emotionally abusive, creating fear and instability, and undermining the victim's emotional well-being and sense of safety. Abuse sign number 3, they criticize how you look. They might nitpick about your clothing choices, weight, or hairstyle, undermining your self-esteem and confidence. Such comments can gradually erode your sense of self-worth and create a toxic dynamic in the relationship. Indicative of emotional abuse. Abuse sign number 4, monitoring your whereabouts. They want to know where you are, always, and insist you respond to calls or texts immediately. They might show up at your work or school, just to check you did actually go there. Abuse sign number 5, blame shifting. Blame shifting is when someone avoids responsibility for their actions by blaming others. In a relationship, the abuser might shift blame onto their partner for their own behavior, causing confusion and guilt. This manipulation tactic undermines accountability and healthy communication, perpetuating control and avoiding consequences for the abuser's actions. Abuse sign number 6, withholding affection. Withholding affection is a form of emotional abuse where a partner intentionally denies love, intimacy, or emotional support to manipulate and control the victim. It undermines trust and connection, leaving the victim feeling unloved and isolated while the abuser maintains power. Abuse sign number 7, guilt tripping. Guilt can be a powerful manipulation tactic. When you feel as though you've let someone down, you're not good enough, or you're a disappointment, you may change your behavior to avoid that feeling in the future. Abuse sign number 8, dismissing. When your thoughts, values, or opinions are dismissed, it can make you feel unimportant. Over time, you may question if your input has any value. Abuse sign number 9, criticizing. Criticism that's cruel or isn't constructive may be emotionally abusive. Interrupting you mid-conversation to say you don't know when to shut up, for example, can be a form of emotional abuse. Abuse sign number 10, threats. Threats involve using intimidation or promises of harm to control behavior. In a relationship, threats can range from verbal intimidation to physical violence, instilling fear and coercing compliance, leaving the victim feeling unsafe and powerless. Abuse sign number 11, they talk over you. Constantly talking over someone, interrupting, or disregarding their voice and opinions can be a form of emotional abuse. It diminishes their sense of worth and autonomy, leaving them feeling unheard and invalidated within the relationship. Abuse sign number 12, manipulative gifts. Manipulative gifts involve using presents or favors to control emotions or behavior within a relationship. They're given with strings attached, aiming to manipulate the recipient's feelings or actions, fostering dependency and power imbalances. In conclusion, knowing how and when to safely leave an abusive relationship can be extremely difficult, especially if you've been isolated from resources or taught to doubt yourself. If you suspect you're in an emotionally abusive relationship, talk to someone you trust outside of the relationship. Please like, subscribe at Mind Matters Explained.